Get ready, we're going to explore a secret world. It's hidden behind Egypt's kings, the pharaohs, and their big pyramids. For a long time, we've mostly talked about the kings. But what about the powerful people? The ones who worked in the shadows, making big things happen for the kingdom. Guess what? Deep under the sand in Egypt, diggers just found new tombs. These tombs belong to those forgotten smart people. They weren't kings, they weren't pharaohs, but they were like the builders of the kingdom's power. What they found in a place called Saqqara is changing everything we thought we knew about how old Egypt really worked. We're about to go inside the tombs of men whose choices changed the lives of so many people. Let's look at 3 amazing tomb discoveries. They're teaching us new things about the important people who ran Egypt. First up is Ptah. He was in charge of all the money for a famous king, Ramses the Great. He was in charge of Egypt's gold, silver, and all its riches when Egypt was super successful. That means he was very powerful. People just found his tomb in Saqqara, and it's like winning the lottery for the scientists who study old things. It's fancy, not broken, and full of secrets. The walls have bright, colorful picture writing on them. It's not just about gods, it's like his job list, showing what he did and how important he was. It's clear Ptah was very close to King Ramses. He wasn't just a worker, he was a trusted friend of the king. The writings on the wall brag about how he controlled Egypt's gold. That gold was like the fuel that made the temples, armies, and the whole kingdom run. In many ways, the money man had as much real power as the king. He managed all the stuff and made super important choices. How fancy his tomb is shows us something. Ptah helped make kings powerful, not just count money. Pictures of gifts to the gods show he was religious but also show off his riches. These were messages to the gods and to people who might be his enemies. There are little clues about secret plans and tricky games in the details. Scientists are still trying to figure out all the power moves in King Ramses' group. When you walk through his tomb, you can almost feel how smart and driven this man was, right in the middle of important events. Gap 2S. Imagine the person in charge of the country's money, the boss of the biggest bank, and a super planner, all in one guy. Ptah's choices started big building jobs, paid for armies, and kept the kingdom safe and steady. He was buried near other important officials in Saqqara. This shows how powerful these government workers were. Egypt really needed these top people. Did he give King Ramses advice about other countries? Did he send help to friends of Egypt? His tomb makes us wonder who made the big things happen in the kingdom. Ptah wasn't just good with money. He had the keys to make Egypt rich and successful. What he left behind, carved in stone, shows us the secret people who helped make history. This tomb is like a window. It lets us see how power really worked in old Egypt. Next, let's go into the tomb of Panessi. His title was Chief Servant of the Temple of Amun. That sounds like a priest, but it meant much more. The Temple of Amun in a place called Karnak was super powerful, like a big company and a government office all in one. And Panessi was the boss. Imagine someone who was like the most important religious leader, the country's main leader, and the top spy all rolled into one. His tomb, just found in Saqqara, shows us a man who was involved in everything, from church services to army business. Writings on the wall show Panessi leading religious events, but they also show him giving orders to soldiers. This mixes up religious power and regular government power. Was he a secret army leader, a master spy, or both? What we found makes it seem like Panessi was almost as powerful as the king. The temple owned huge amounts of land, lots of money, and had many priests working for it. It was like a money-making kingdom inside the main kingdom. Panessi probably knew secrets from all over Egypt and the lands it controlled. This made him one of the people who knew the most in the whole kingdom. To survive, with all the important people around the king, you had to be super smart about politics, and maybe a little bit tough. Panessi had to serve the king, but also speak for the powerful priests of Amun. This made him someone who could help decide who became king. His tomb gives us a special look at how religion, government, and money power were all mixed together in old Egypt. Did he use fortune tellers to change the king's mind? Did he use the temple's money to make friends with important people? There are so many things he might have done. The writings give little clues about enemies and secret plans. Scientists are looking for hints about the bad guys he tricked or beat. What Panessi left behind is a super interesting mystery. Was he a good helper to the king, or was he like a secret king telling everyone what to do from behind the scenes? His tomb is like a big reminder of all the tricky, connected powers that decided what happened to Egypt. The real story is probably somewhere in the middle, but Panessi is still one of the most mysterious people from his time. His story makes us rethink everything we thought we knew about who had power in Old Egypt and how much they had. The tomb of Panessi shows us that there were secret rulers working behind the king. Our last stop takes us down to Ptahmas. He was a top judge for King Seti I. As the main judge, he was the one who made the final decisions about laws and keeping things peaceful. Egypt believed in something called Ma'at, which means truth and fairness from the gods. His tomb in Saqqara is a special window that lets us see what the law was like in Old Egypt. Inside there are lots of writings. They tell about crimes, punishments, and how they made sure justice was done. It's like a lost library of law books, all carved in stone. In these records there are scary stories about secret plots in the temples and priests being killed. This shows that even holy places had bad things happening. Ptahmas's job was to find and stop sneaky betrayals. He had to stand up to powerful people, even among the priests. Did he decide the punishments himself, even for crimes where people could be killed? His job title makes it sound like he had a lot of power and a big responsibility to do that. He judged all sorts of cases, from arguments about land to betraying the country. His choices could change people's lives or even end them. Every decision he made was an attempt to bring back Ma'at, that idea of truth and fairness. He had to look at all the proof to keep things peaceful. His tomb might show us the steps, rules and ways they did things in Egyptian law. These are things we've never seen before. He had a huge job, figuring out the truth, making sure justice was done, and not letting powerful people push him around. The crimes and punishments written down show a tough, real picture of the problems the kingdom had to deal with. Pictures of court cases and signs of justice, like the special feather of Ma'at, make it feel like we're right there in an old Egyptian courtroom. What Thomas left behind is a scary reminder of the power and sometimes harshness that kept order in Egypt. His tomb shows that even the most holy places could have bad people and very tough punishments. Behind all the fancy stuff of the kings there was a system to keep control, and sometimes it used very tough ways to do it. The story of Ptahmas shows us how people have always tried hard to find justice. His stone-carved legacy shows us the real truth about power and law in Old Egypt. So those are our guys. Ptahmewia, the money man, Panessi, the temple boss, and Ptahmas, the top judge. They were secret, powerful people whose actions changed a whole kingdom. These tombs are more than just old things scientists found. They're like diaries of the most important people from the old world. Every writing and every object is like a piece of a puzzle. They show us how complicated Egyptian life and power really were. And this is just starting. That place, Saqqara, still has tons of secrets hidden under its sand. What other stories are waiting for us to find them? We'll keep searching to learn more. For more old mysteries and real discoveries, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and watch for what we find next.